We got folks blaming folks for another man's injury. Lord. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, thanks for checking out the content. You're more than welcome to come back next time for more sports talk. Just smash the subscribe button. So let's get into this whole thing because I haven't really had a chance to react to Michael Thomas' comments seemingly blaming Derek Carr for Chris Olave's concussion in the New Orleans Saints 23-22 loss to the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. As you all know, or may have seen by now, Olave was carted off the field in the first quarter after taking a huge hit from multiple defenders. Olave was then, of course, taken to a local hospital and diagnosed with a concussion. There's no timetable for his return. Former Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas took to X to air out his frustrations while watching the game, blaming Carr for the Olave injury. I don't understand why grown men run to the internet when you have a problem with another man. You know where he lives, or you can call him on the phone or meet him somewhere and discuss the situation. Yes, this drama is entertaining. It's entertaining to a lot of people, and it gives us something to talk about. But this mess, drama like this, shows people's true character and motives. And at some point, being messy and creating unnecessary drama screams misery. That's what's wrong with people. We inject this nonsense into our brain as we find it so amusing. Michael Thomas rips the Saints quarterback. Everybody is running to the internet to see what was said. Suddenly, you got people talking about a former NFL wide receiver who comes at another man about him being at fault for his teammate's injury. Derek Carr was asked about what Thomas had to say after the game. Tons of class from him on that response. Great, classy response from Carr. I loved the way that he handled himself. What I love about this, I appreciate how he handled this situation so gracefully and like a true gentleman. He could have resorted to name calling or went to his ex account and trolled him back. You don't have to be hostile or spew hateful rhetoric because somebody else is miserable or having a bad day and feel as if they have to criticize you. And obviously, what I've come to know about Derek Carr is that he doesn't allow criticism to define what he does or who he is. Professional answer from Carr. You couldn't say it better than that. He's obviously the bigger person here, while Michael Thomas is going viral for being a clown. It's easy to be a critic. Anybody can criticize a person. It takes no courage, no skill, no effort to do that. I'm with Derek Carr on this. Thomas sounds bitter and angry. It comes off as if you're blaming Carr for not being in New Orleans, for not being currently in the league, for not being on the NFL roster. I don't know what went down there. Derek Carr is a great quarterback, a good person. I think he's put up great numbers, and he had moments where he's shown he's a good quarterback in this league. What happened on Sunday was a very unfortunate situation because you know he threw the ball, and Olave's first instincts is he's a receiver, and he's going to try to catch it. But by no means necessary was that a dirty play. I didn't think it was a dirty play. The hit wasn't dirty. It was a bit late, but I don't think the intent was to be dirty. I thought it was a clean football hit. And the only reason Brian Branch was penalized was because it looked like a potential or a possible illegal hit in real time. He neither lunged his body at nor hit Olave in the head area. Olave was almost beheaded. That was nasty, a bad concussion. I can tell immediately after watching the highlight, terrible throw, dangerous hit. Olave experienced attempted murder on the field and nobody got ejected. The pass was incomplete. Olave clearly didn't have the ball and dude still hits him. The whole Michael Thomas thing just sounds like a personal attack on Carr's character. Sean Payton, former Saints coach, Michael Thomas ex-coach, and maybe it was Sean Payton's attitude as well. We saw how the whole thing went down with him and Russell Wilson in Denver. But he once told reporters, or I believe Colin Cowherd, it was somebody. It might have been Colin Cowherd. It was somebody Payton told that Michael Thomas was one of the most difficult locker room personalities he had ever seen. I kind of believe it. Not that Payton is the coolest guy in the locker room, because he seems very difficult to work with as well. This is why that clown is still jobless on nobody's team. And yeah, we all get excited over a guy who takes to social media to clown another guy. We love the fact that an irrelevant wide receiver gets his 15 minutes of fame, suddenly steps back into the spotlight, not holding back, calling out somebody's accuracy. And now Carr is definitely under the spotlight. And look, last time I checked, the guy you're bashing is still in the league. He's still employed. Michael Thomas is still unemployed. It almost seems like 2 years ago since we last heard from Michael Thomas. I mean, I haven't heard that name in a long time until earlier this week. And, what I think of Michael Thomas, you guys all know what I think of him. You had a guy who was a locker room cancer, talented, but like most of these wide receivers, a diva. You can't look beyond the fact that Thomas was the problem. He created this himself. And look, as good as he was, this guy could still be in the league and probably should be in the league. But, it does matter how you conduct yourself. So talent goes to waste when you got this guy who thinks he's above the team. And yes, it does matter the perception with how you are in terms of attitude. If you act like a child, come across as being arrogant and cocky, then you have no one to blame but yourself for not being in the league. What Michael Thomas did was what anybody can do. Sit behind a computer screen or look at a phone and type on social media while sitting on the couch eating hot Cheetos, criticizing someone's accuracy and blaming them for the injury of another player. I don't know what Michael Thomas is hoping to get out of this or what he think he can gain from it. This isn't going to do him any favors. To do nothing or say nothing is the best thing you can do sometimes. Stand quiet was a better option. But it should be no surprise, Michael Thomas wanted everybody's attention because he wanted to sound relevant again. And in case you forgot who he was, well, now you remember who he is. And so he pulls the diva card to let everybody know he's still around for whatever reason. This is not good to do. It's funny that Michael Thomas, this man, is blaming Carr for what his career has become. That's all it is to it. And I can tell you, I highly doubt anyone would really like to play with Thomas for this reason. Carr didn't have to clap back. He handled it like a man. Thomas, he ain't playing no more. You get rid of your social media account, my dude. Get rid of your social media account. You can think that and maybe tell your friends that, but you can't go on social media saying this if you're thinking about playing again. And think about when he won the MVP. I believe he won the MVP one year and got the contract, and he had a big year. And then after that one big year, it was one injury after another and one injury after another. And you guarantee anybody $50 million a year like the Saints did with Thomas, he might give you the middle finger, and now I'm going to do whatever I want. And teams may look at this and say, I'm not putting up with that guy. I don't need that on my team. I really don't. But I do like the way Derek Carr responded. I think it was a classy response. He handled it like a professional. And Michael Thomas is the one at home, miserable, clowning on somebody else, making himself look like a fool, when it really doesn't matter what he says, because for whatever reason, he is not in the league. So it really doesn't matter what you say. But we all know why you said it. It's because you want to sound relevant and you want to be this, hey, look at me guy, I'm still here. But yet you're not playing any football games. You're not in the league. So it really doesn't matter what you say or what you think. You know? And that's what this all comes down to. Michael Thomas just sounds bitter. He sounds angry. He acts as if Derek Carr had something to do with him not being in the NFL anymore. And that's why he made those comments, because he feels that way about Derek Carr. He feels Derek Carr has something to do with his career coming to an end. No, you had everything to do with your career coming to an end, and that's why you're no longer in the National Football League. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. We'll talk again very soon. I'm getting out of here now. Thanks for watching the content. Thanks for keeping up with my videos. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys like what I do, please hit the subscribe button. We'll talk again very soon. I'm getting out of here. Take care, everyone.